We love featuring artists you should know about. Today we're heading to Florida to chat with singer-songwriter Luanne Hunt. Luanne just released her 24th studio album called Miles and Memories. She's an independent Superstars Hall of Fame recording artist. She's a 5-time Josie Music Awards nominee. She's been in the music industry for over 3 decades, and her latest single in video is out now. It's called The Vice. We're excited to have Luanne Hunt on the show. First, Luanne, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Well, it's crazy because you began your professional music career in the mid-'90s, but you were singing all the time when you were a kid, but your family wasn't too receptive about it. Tell us a little bit about you singing as a young child, Luanne.
I was really into music when I was a kid, and I spent most of my time just listening to records and singing along, and I just got it in my head one day that I wanted to be a singer when I grew up. And when I told my parents and my family, they were like, forget it, you can't sing. We've been listening to you sing and you're horrible, and this and that. So, yeah, they were pretty brutal.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, I don't even know why they said that. I mean, I was just a little girl,
Well, what kept you motivated? Just the drive to be a singer? Because, that would just deflate you.
You would think, right? I am probably one of the most tenacious people. I mean, it's unbelievable. If I get it in my mind that I want to do something, nothing's stopping that. And I guess I just felt like I should follow that path. And even after I got married, I was 21, and I met a man from California. He was a sports writer. And I went to California, and I told him after I got out there that I wanted to be a singer. And he told me, because he had heard me sing a little bit, and he said, you have no talent. I don't understand why you'd want to be a singer,
Ouch.
Yeah, so I went to the local college, and I took some classes in singing. And I remember the first day I was there, the teacher was having us do all these vocal exercises. And I was so nervous that I almost passed out doing the exercises.
Holy cow. Well, and your late husband, didn't you guys start writing music together? And he started writing songs, and you didn't even know he could write songs. I
know. He just, out of the blue, one day, this was like in the early 90s, I was looking for music for one of my students. I was teaching singing, and one of my students wanted to do some recording, and she was a young girl, and I was looking for songs for her that would be age appropriate. And he was on vacation, and he came in the kitchen one day, and he said, I wrote some songs for your student, And I'm thinking to myself, what? Because I didn't know he wrote songs. And he sang these little songs into a tape recorder, and they were good. They were really good. So I had a guitar player come over to the house and figure out the chords and make little demos. And next thing you know, we were full board in the studio. And he wound up writing like over 100 songs within a year's time.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, maybe it was meant to be. Well, and then your big break comes in like 2008. You start working with a gentleman on a Christmas song. And this thing blows up. Christmas Without You. It's also known as Patsy Cline's Lost Christmas Song. Tell us this story, Luanne.
So Lawton Giles, who was a friend of mine, he and his songwriting partner, Buster Beam, they used to write songs for Patsy Cline back in the 60s. And anyway, they weren't major hits or anything, but they were in her catalog. So in 2008, I was going to do a Christmas album, and I called Lawton and I said, do you have any songs I could listen to, any holiday songs? And he said, yeah, so I went to his office, and he's playing me different songs, and I'm thinking, nah, And then he says, you know what? He goes, I have this song that Patsy asked me to write, and he tells me how he wrote the song with Buster, and they did a demo, and Patsy flipped out over it. She loved it. And she went to her label and played it for them, and they said, well, we like the melody of the song, but we don't like the idea that it's a Christmas song, and we don't want to release a Christmas song. And so they asked Lawton to change the words, and the song became How Can I Face Tomorrow? And Patsy sang it, and it didn't do well at all. And that was the end of it. And I guess Lawton said she was very, very upset because she wanted to give her fans a Christmas song. So anyway, all these years later, he's telling me this story, and I said, hey, I don't even need to hear the song. I'm doing it. With a story like that behind it, I'm doing it. So he played it for me, and it was like, this is a cool song, and I just put my own spin on it. I put it out in 2008, and it just started picking up steam, and it was on charts. It was on the European Country Music Association chart at number 1. I think that was like in 2009, and it got all these accolades, and it's had about, I think on YouTube, it's had about 600,000 views on it.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, because people nowadays, they're clamoring to do a Christmas song. I mean, just how times have changed when Patsy Cline's people are like, you don't need a Christmas song, Patsy.
It's kind of weird because they would have continued making money for years into eternity on that song, But I don't know what it was, but I remember saying to somebody, it's like that song was written for me, because it's too weird that her label didn't want to do it like that. It's such a beautiful song, and the fact that they wouldn't let her record that is bizarre.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, well, and then, I mean, you said this thing's got legs. In 2015, you look, and like Sweden's top newspaper has it on their Christmas songs list, like the top 25 Christmas songs of all time. Yeah,
I know. It was amazing.
There's Luanne Hunt with Mariah Carey.
Right, I know, it's insane, and I was the only independent artist on that list. So, and all these big blogs have written it up, like Universal Music, and I mean, it's unbelievable. Yeah. So it keeps going, Yeah,
well, and every year comes back around again. Christmas Without You. Go and check her out. She's at luannhunt.com. She's on Facebook, X. Go to YouTube. She's got a ton of videos on there. Her latest album, Miles and Memories, is out now. I heard a thing where you said, this business is about longevity, but 24 studio albums, Luanne. Can you believe that you just released your 24th studio album?
It is hard to believe. I mean, it's sort of like one of those things where you're just chipping away at it over the years, and I've always wanted to get better at what I do, and I think that's kind of been a driving force behind all this producing songs. I'm trying to get better at it. Yeah. So next thing you know, you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, look at all this music I created, Yeah,
it's amazing. And Miles and Memories, I mean, talk about a perfect title for an album. I mean, it also has a song. Was the song first? I mean, where did you come up with the name?
I was really thinking about how I wanted to mark my 30 years in the business and write a song about that. But I had some other songs that I was already planning on doing. And then usually what I'll do is, this might sound really strange, but if I need a title or a hook or something, before I go to bed at night, I'll just say to myself, I want the title in the morning, and I'll wake up and it'll be there. And that's what happened with this. And I thought, wow, that's a great hook. So then I just sat down and wrote the song.
Huh. I wish I could do that. I'm going to have to start taking your advice there, Luanne. Well, and this is a little different sound. You were trying to go back to more of your folk roots on this thing.
Yeah, although even though it's folky, I still wanted to bring in some more pop sensibilities as far as piano and strings and things like that. But at its base, all the songs actually on the album are folk. Like, you could just play them with a guitar and they would sound like folk songs. So, and there's also, with folk, it's all about the storytelling aspect as well. So I wanted to bring forth good stories.
Yeah. Well, we played it last hour. We are right to be concerned. I mean, you had to obviously write this one around now. You got inflation in it. I mean, it's totally talking about what's going on today. You say you're not political, but what are we getting at on this song?
It bothers me that the prices are so high when you go to the store. I know you remember just last year the eggs were just like $5-6 a dozen, you know. And my grocery bill, it hasn't doubled, but it's creeping up there to where it's doubled, and everything is so much money. And it's out of control. And we're having a lot of problems here in Florida with an insurance crisis and people losing their homes. And it's just, I don't know, I guess seeing all this just made me want to write a song about the condition of our world and especially this country. And it's like, yeah, we do have a right to be concerned about this. But like my fiance said the other day, you know, all this is going on and it just looks on the surface like everything is status quo, but it's really not, you know?
Yeah. They want you to believe that everything's fine, but it's definitely not when you start digging through everything. That's for sure. Just the price of everything. But yeah, we are right to be concerned. Great song. You started producing a few years back. Did you produce Miles and Memories?
Yes.
So
I did, and
where's your studio? Is it in Florida, or where are you working out of?
I have a studio in my house that I put together, and during COVID, I was actually living out in Vegas during COVID because my husband of 36 years had died in 2019, and I moved to Vegas because we had a house there, and then COVID hit, and I was trapped in the house, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to teach myself how to engineer because I'd always wanted to. So I went and I bought all the equipment and the software, and I started working on a project and began the process of learning how to do that.
Wow.
So,
well, and you're getting there. You keep doing it.
Yeah, I keep doing it. There's just like incredibly steep learning curve with it, and yeah, it's just every time I get on the system to do something, it's learning something else about it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot of stuff involved with producing, that's for sure. Go and check her out, LuanneHunt.com. She's on Facebook, X. Her latest album, Miles and Memories, is out now. Well, you also do some Christian music, and you have this website, InsideTheFaith.com. Tell us a little bit about this and your story, Luanne, because you go by, Luanne Annie Hunt on here. I mean, you've had a battle with religion after your husband died. You kind of went towards the Jewish faith. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I was a Christian for 40 years, and years ago, though, I started studying a lot of metaphysical things, and I began to open up my understanding of spirituality and our relationship to a creator or the source or whatever. And Christianity started, getting a little bit limiting for me. So I never was thinking I was going to not be a Christian, but I was more following this path of spirituality than religion. But I had some questions about the Bible and the contradictions and everything, and I've just been looking into this for a while now, and I found out a lot of things about Judaism that I didn't know that resonated with me, and they matched my metaphysical teachings,
Yeah.
So anyway, I started a channel to talk about the discrepancies between Christianity and Judaism, and it's been picking up steam, and I've put out all this resource material on my website that you found. And I actually recorded an EP, I guess it was last year, of songs that they're not really Jewish, but they're basically just about the relationship with God.
Yeah.
And so there's in the community, there's a lot of Christians who have left the church, and they realize that they want to follow the like the Jewish path, but they don't want to convert. So there's a lack of music for those people. And I thought, well, maybe I could help fill the void by creating some music.
Yeah, if you go to YouTube, and if you look up Luanne Hunt or In the Light with Luanne Hunt, you can go check out some of her stuff. She's got a Jewish praise song. She's got a Dear God song. She's got different ones. And like she said, she's got an EP of different songs on there that you can go and check out. You can go subscribe to it. But yeah, I mean, you got over 1,000 subscribers, so it's definitely taken off.
Yeah, it picked up really fast. I mean, the first video I put up, I just did a little commentary on this rabbi. His name is Tovia Singer, and he's really big on YouTube, and he talks about Judaism and Christianity and this and that. And I did a little commentary video on him, and I just stuck it up there, not thinking anything, and it had like 10,000 views overnight, you know.
Wow.
And and Rabbi liked it, and he said, "Welcome home," you know, on the video. He made that one little comment, and I thought, you know what, I think I'm going to start putting up more videos, and so that just turned into what it's become now.
Yeah. What do we think about everything going on in Israel, or at least the Americans' reaction towards it?
Well, you know, it's very disheartening.
Yeah.
To see, but it's, for me, I mean, I really believe in the prophecies of Tanakh, or the Old Testament, as Christians call it. So to me, it's not surprising it's happening. But, you know, I mean, I want to believe that there's going to be a time coming soon of peace, you know, and not just there, but in the world. I mean, that's what Tanakh says, that this is going to turn into a new age, and that age will be an age of peace.
Yeah, we hope
and
so.
I always believed that before, you know, before I knew what Judaism believed, and that's why I gravitated toward this, because it's like, wow, this is what's been prophesied all along, and I didn't know it, you know, because I was told that, you know, Jesus was going to come and rapture all the people that believed in him, and the rest were going to go to hell in a handbasket, you know. Oh, yeah. That's what I was taught, you know. But it was like, well, that's not what the Hebrew Bible says at all. So
yeah, go and check out our website, InsideTheFaith.com, for more about that, or you can also go check out LuanneHunt.com and find it on there as well. Well, your current single, "The Vice," it's off the new album, but this was actually written back in 1995. So why bring it back now?
Well, my husband wrote the song for a demo album that I recorded, and I loved it. And then when he first sang it to me, I was enchanted with the darn thing. And the title was a little quirky. It was called "He's in Paradise with a Pair of Dice," which is the hook of the song, but it just sounded like a novelty song. But anyway, it was the way we did it. It came out so well. And it's just been in my mind all these years that I'd like to redo it. And since I was doing an album to commemorate my 30th year, I thought, well, I should do a song from that first demo album and reimagine it. And it was easy to do that one, because that was the one that really was in my heart all along. And, man, it just, if I played you the original one and this one, it's like, wow, it's like night and day. You know?
It's completely different. It's crazy how life has kind of went full circle for you, because you had your husband, now he's gone. You met your new fiance in Vegas, right?
Yes.
Yeah, where this song is, because your first husband loved gambling.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
I mean, it's crazy how life works. But go and check her out, Luanne Hunt. She's at LuanneHunt.com. She's on Facebook, X. Go and follow her. Go to YouTube. Check out all of her stuff. And also InsideTheFaith.com. So what's coming up next, Luanne?
Well, I just actually finished a documentary on the subject we're talking about Judaism, Christianity, and it features people that have come out of the church and why, and what prompted them, you know, to see things were different than they thought.
Yeah.
And I'm creating more resource material for that. And then I'm also just getting ready to write some new songs because obviously I'm going to keep recording. And maybe in the early part of next year, perhaps release my 25th album. But right now that's kind of on the schedule. So we'll see how it all works out. And I also started a singer-songwriter showcase here in the Villages where I live. And it's in cooperation with a local charity. They're called Villages for Veterans. So all the money from the showcases are going to benefit that group.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm excited about doing that because there's a lot of talent here in Florida, especially young people. And the Villages, these people here, they want to hear all the old classic rock, which I do too, right? But I thought it would be so great to bring something new and fresh to their ears, and give these young people a chance to play in front of good crowds.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great idea. Go and check her out. Go and follow her. Tons more coming from Luanne Hunt. Here is the current single called Device. Luanne, thanks so much for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It's Luanne Hunt, KIX 96.5.